blah. We've already seen this before. Obviously, I'm gonna just skip past this. We meet Lanier and all the J-Bloods. So, I'm going to go speak with Daria first, just because.
What's wrong? Is something the matter?
Oh, no, not exactly. Just, you remember that you have something you want to talk to Bar about something. A couple things, actually. Bonnie's face falls briefly, but she recovers quickly and smiles warmly.
Well, when you're ready to come back, I'd love to catch up. It's very important to keep up with old friends by 1. Maintaining regular and positive contact via in-person conversation or Chitter messages. 2. Sharing details of mutual interests and hobbies. 3. Ensuring your friends aren't snatched up by Imperial recruitment.
Basically, main thing is... let's see here. So, this is Daria. So... Everyone seems so tense, blah, 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 blah. What's going on around here? Maybe you should apologize. So what's going on with you and Lanier?
We're pitched. Is that enough for you? Or do you want, like, excruciating details on how we fuck or something?
Oh, God, no. You aren't really sure. You think that this is some kind of a story. I'm ready for sure. But that gets solidified into some type of adult-only territory. Judging by Daria's expression, you feel like you just said basically all of that out loud.
It's fine. Just tell me you were still like this.
Right, but yes, you understand what your relationship is. I suppose it's not a complete surprise or anything.
But I feel like you're going to add something here.
It seems like there's something more to this. Daria narrows her eyes and scowls at you, and without further explanation, she becomes very interested in avoiding your gaze and shuffling her feet uncomfortably.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Linare's a bitch, and I hate her. Which, well, you know the deal. Wouldn't want to go and get too adults only about it for you.
Oh, yeah. You think it's maybe time to steer this conversation to a different direction?
Yeah, let's do that. Whatever. As if I'm going to be giving a shit what you think of what me and Lynn are.
She stops herself. That sounded pretty, is familiar the right word? You never heard anyone call Lanier by anything other than her full name. Is it normal for pitchmates to call each other pet names? Daria's turning deep ripe green.
I swear to the mother grub herself, I will fucking murder you.
What's with her and Bronia?
Well, you know how it is. She's still in charge of the caverns. Keeps us all organized, all that. Absolutely hard-ass most of the time. Also, we've been made spritz for, almost a sweet.
You feel like maybe she should have led with that part. Daria shakes her head.
What? What is it? You got something to say to me about this?
This feels off somehow. Daria puts her head down and sighs heavily. And this doesn't feel like something she's putting on. In fact, it feels like she's dropping her guard for a second. Just a little bit. You don't say anything. You're worried that saying something will break the spell and she'll be back to her old self.
You're right. Don't suppose you know much about quadrants, do you?
You don't say anything, but it doesn't matter. She's already talking again.
I know how it is. 1 troll per quadrant. That's how things balance out, right? Duty to the Empire. Duty to each other. All that stupid bullshit. But what if my feelings aren't so fucking simple? What if I'm pitched for her one day and then I'm feeling like I just want things to be soft and...
She steps out in her tracks and looks up at you, as if she's just realizing that she was talking out loud. She shakes her head quickly and looks embarrassed.
Fuck it. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
I can just... What's about the band? Blah, 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 blah. It's on Tuesday to think it's cool. I'm gonna check on Bronia. You head back toward the common room you first saw Bronian, guided by your impeccable friend senses. But sure enough, she's still in there, sitting down in one of the armchairs, reading quietly to herself.
Oh, it's you again!
It sure is. You're definitely being non-intrusive and not pestering anyone at all. On a related note, would she mind answering a series of incredibly personal questions?
Oh, of course! I'd love to answer your questions. Which I'm sure won't be 1. Overly invasive. 2. Take up too much time.
She smiles at you broadly. Lanier seems nice. Brony squints and you can smile softly.
Oh, she is. She is. 1. Always cheerful about her work around the caverns. 2. Always willing to help the others. 3.
Brony clears her throat.
3. She is the best Moirail I could ever hope to have.
Brony's face breaks into a grin that feels strangely forced. You know what? This is actually getting kind of ridiculous. You've been dancing around this for so long now. It's, well, painfully obvious in what's going on here. Lanier is obviously flushed for her. Brony lets out a long sigh and shakes her head. There's a lot here. There's a lot to unpack and process, and maybe you push things a little bit too much. Then again, you're getting sick and tired of all these people who refuse to talk about their feelings for each other.
You're wrong about that. We're pale with each other. Moirails. The best Moirails.
She laughs nervously. The same feeling from before, and this is actually hurts to watch. You caught pretty quickly that Lanier has a gigantic crush on Bronya, which she wasn't exactly subtle about, but she might have misjudged how Bronya felt in return. Has she considered maybe you're putting this out there? She might have some feelings for Lanier that she hasn't fully explored?
Stop it! 1. I'm in a happy matespritship with someone else, something I take very seriously. 2. Lanier and I are Moirails, and even if I weren't already spoken for in that quadrant, the idea of vacillating like that is... It's not supposed to be like that. I really need you to stop poking your non-existent nose into situations that have nothing to do with you.
So, she and Daria are a thing now?
Yes, I suppose you could say we are a thing. If by that, you mean we are in a happy matespritship together, of course.
Yeah, that's basically what she meant. It's just that, well, it's a little bit... Try and find a way to put this that won't make Bronya feel awful. Never really got the sense that Bronya and Durny were interested in each other like that. Bronya doesn't seem to like this. She knits her eyebrows and frowns at you.
Because you know so much about our matespritship? Because you know so much about all of us? After more than 2 sweeps, you know people change, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. You think that back on everyone you've met up until now and how their lives have diverged at some point while you weren't there. You wonder how many others you've met whose lives have similarly branched away from the original path. Who are to judge?
Thank you for being so understanding. In any case... 1. Daria and I have been matesprits for almost a sweep now. 2. We both experience a happy balance of flush, pitched, and pale quadrants. 3. We are both very happy with how things are and hardly experience a single thought to the contrary.
She smiles, somewhat unconvincingly.
You understand this is all normal, right?
See, actually, no. Brony frowns and looks down at her feet.
And what do you mean by that exactly?
Okay, yeah, you don't really want her to take this the wrong way. Has she considered that maybe her feelings might be more complicated than she thought? Brony looks at you evenly and shakes her head.
That's silly. Everyone knows that. 1. Quadrants are designed to simplify and organize our lives. 2. It's for our own good that they're kept separate. 3. Vacillation and quadrant infidelity only cause more problems than they're worth.
But does she really believe all that? Does she really truly believe it? Like, for example, doesn't she have red feelings for Daria? But what if, this is purely hypothetical, she also had similar feelings for someone else too? Would that be bad? Would it matter how she feels as long as she was being honest and open with the other people involved? Bronya began to look deeply embarrassed.
This is silly! Everyone knows you're not supposed to act like that. It just causes more problems than it's worth.
Okay, yeah, sure. Maybe she doesn't like hearing it, but maybe it's something she needs to hear. Bronya frowns at you.
I'd rather talk about something else now, if it's all the same to you.
Kinda curious. Bronya, meets spirits, Okay, I'm just trying to refresh back to Daria. Friendship's back. Maybe they got a point. Bunch of dark losers. Was she? So, where's Kakuro? Blah 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 blah. This, about the caverns. Going off world soon? Let's go with conflicted. What's all with all the grubs? Blah 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 blah. Check on the lair. Blah 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 blah. Because this is all stuff that we don't really care about. It's just this stuff. So, her and Daria. What's that about?
Oh, well, we've been pitched for about a sweep now.
Bronya, don't want to leave. Don't want to be parts. Lenny looks down at the ground, her eyes flinting back and forth as frowns play across her face.
She's always doing things that I think they're dangerous.
Are you still trying to get her head around exactly what the whole pitch quadrant thing even means? It seems kind of like a rivalry thing, and it means the lovers. Honestly, you're not sure, especially after seeing the kind of weird dynamic that Tagore and Galax seem to have going on.
Well, we're here to make sure we're our best. She pushes my buttons and I push hers, but in a good way.
She's blushing deeply, fidgeting with her sweater and smiling. You're not even sure if this is typical behavior for Gizmisis.
Oh, it's very normal.
Yeah. This isn't good.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you're wondering if she's not being completely honest with her feelings right now.
You think I'm lying to you? Why would I do that?
No, you don't think she's lying. It's just that it sounded like she almost admitted she cared about Daria and then stopped herself. And you're not exactly sure how this Gizmisis stuff works, but maybe she at least sees herself as having some conflicting feelings.
The only conflict we have is the healthy pitch kind.
Okay, but it doesn't really feel like she believes that. Lunier's face falls and she stares on at the ground.
That's not true. Everything's fine and we don't have any problems at all.
So about that Bronya, huh? A tint of color expands from Lunier's cheeks to cover her whole face, and she's smiling in a way you don't think she's seen before.
I love her.
Okay. Lunier blinks and shakes her head, and she just stops herself back to reality.
As a Moirail, I don't want things to be unclear at all. I love having her as a Moirail. She's kind and considerate, and she's always trying to do what's best. I can't imagine having a better Moirail in the whole world.
She smiles at you, nervous and forced. You're seeing a lot of those kinds of smiles lately. Yep, this is all fine. Lunier smiles again and nods vigorously. She's trying to convince herself as much as anything.
Exactly. You understand how it is, how it feels to have complicated feelings about people.
You're not sure you say that exactly. Pretty sure that your vague, non-committal response was designed mainly to draw as little negative attention as possible.
Sometimes those feelings aren't what you're supposed to have. Sometimes they're a lot more involved. And sometimes they're for people you're too afraid to even tell about them.
What's happening?
And that's all fine.
You're not actually sure if it's anything would qualify.
Thank you so much for talking to me. You're such a good friend.
That's went about as well as you expected it to. You rushed quickly to change your subjects. It's about the caverns, blah 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 blah. Weren't you? Blah 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 blah. You're sorry. Blah 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 blah. What was this one? Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Blah 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 blah. They don't don't have to live like the. They don't have to take this. You know a way they can fight back, blah, 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 blah. Why can't she just submit? So basically this one is, don't you understand? I'm happy with my morale, with my kisses. You're not the Dari who looks at a small smile. You don't understand these two. So why can't you just admit how she feels? Daria is smiling as soon as you say it, but you can see that the hard benign Linares face as soon as she looks away.
I don't know what you mean. I'm perfectly open about how I feel all the time.
Is that really true, though? It feels like kind of like she has some sort of very specific feelings for both Bronny and Daria that she's not willing to explore.
That's silly. We're all a good match. We've met the Imperial mandate that we not overfill our quadrants. We're all well-balanced.
Is that what she's looking for in life, really? To be well-balanced? Linear doesn't meet your eyes.
It's not like it matters anyway. It won't change how any of us feels.
This strikes you as a singularly odd thing to say. You wonder, what does she mean by that exactly?
If you'll excuse me, this has me feeling off. I need to sit down in my respite block.
Linear pushes around you and brushes gently past Daria and leaves the room.
Shit! We need to go talk to her.
Bronny, I got a lot to think about. We're in a dungeon. Riley's so glad. How you feel about me? Blah, 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 blah. And then they talk. Think that way you think Daria's really cool. Da, 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 da. So it's okay to worry about her own safety.
Yeah, you're...
Second conversation with Bronia. So, about Lanira.
Oh, you were talking to...
So, basically, basically she was just saying, mentioned brightly at her name, one from Riley. So, okay, this is ridiculous. Or tell her how she feels. Either or. I'm gonna go with, okay, this is ridiculous. Look, you know that Lanira just doesn't have pale feelings for Bronia. This is perhaps one of the singular most obvious things you have ever seen in your life.
What do you mean?
Stop it already. You're actually getting annoyed now. It's not like you get it, but you also come the heck on. Every time she's in the room, Lanira practically melts around her.
But I have a mate sprit already. I have a mate sprit who I love.
And why does that mean she can't feel the way she does about someone else, like maybe Lanira? She doesn't respond to you, at least not verbally. Instead, Bronia suddenly is very interested in the floor of the nursery. And the cabinets off the side is basically anything but looking in your eyes.
You sound like Daria.
What does that mean? You know they've been getting a lot of crap for being gone a long time and not really vibing with everyone's deal over the last couple of sweeps, but you don't get it.
She talks about how the quadrants don't have to be a prison we live inside of. That the Empire wants us to see them that way, because it allows them to control us yet another way. To control who we care about, who we care for.
Doesn't that make sense, though? You're still kind of sorting this through, but it seems like you've been enough felicitation and general blurring of those lines that maybe the idea of that strictly rigid system is... You don't want to use the phrase complete crap, but you're having trouble thinking of another. But this time, Bernie looks uncomfortable, but she doesn't say anything. What about... Daria? You're a little surprised when that she and Bronny are mate sprites. Like, last time they seemed to be a dynamic that could basically be described as antagonistic, and now this? It feels weird.
Well, it feels weird because you weren't there. Feelings don't develop all at once. And I'll admit it wasn't something I'd considered, but after so many of the others were taken away or abandoned the caverns, Daria became invaluable. Invaluable to the caverns, then to me.
She smiles at you, swiping her stray hair out of her face, and there's a look at the piece in her face that you don't feel like she's seen much on Terran yet. You've seen much on Terran.
Is it a perfect mate spreadship? No, of course not. But perfect is a lie.
What does she mean by that? Is she thinking about her relationship with Edward? She nods quickly, still smiling. And then... It's pretty obvious she cares a lot about her mate sprites.
I do. A great deal.
She knits her brows and smiles at you and traces the colors flinting her cheeks out.
She has been a source of strength to me, even if we didn't always see eye to eye. I think it's fair to say that I love her.
Bronya swells with pride as she smiles, closing her eyes and nodding towards you. You can't help but feel a sense of happiness washing over you. For all of the horrible crap around you, this is genuinely heartfelt.
It felt like it was my fault, you know?
I suppose that makes sense. Wait, what was her fault?
What happened with Elward? That I was overbearing, or perhaps didn't fill her, needs.
Bronya stammers over her words for a second, clearly flustered, but quickly regained her composure.
But I realized that it was neither of our faults. There were deeper issues, and ultimately it was better for us to be apart.
Did she ever get the sweater back? Bronya smiles at you.
I did not, in fact, get the sweater back. It's fine. If keeping it brings her some happiness, then she can have the damn thing. My whole point being, 1, I get to start over with Daria and learn from my mistakes. 2, both Elward and I are in a better place now. I hope.
She sees your face and stops.
Is that not true? I haven't heard from her in a while.
Maybe she could check in on Elward?
Maybe you're right. I don't think she ever blocked me on Chitter. I can reach out and just make sure she's okay. Even if I don't have feelings for her anymore, I worry.
We need to talk to her about the others. What would it take to convince her? Tiled. Against all odds, you think you actually managed to convince Liquid to support the rebellion. Bronya's mouth hang open, and if she's trying to find the words to speak, but she just can't. Finally, she coughs and composes herself.
Him? I would never have guessed.
Yeah, you're honestly a bit surprised too, but here you are.
But what about Elward?
You look down at the ground, and you're not sure what to say. She's, let's call it undecided, but Lanquise is making real change. That has to count for something, right?
That's... You know I can't just up and openly defy the Empire like that, right?
Isn't she tired of all this? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so basically this is just the whole interaction of the gallery. Where was it? This is chapter 7. This is chapter 6, so it would be this moment, the two of them together. As she says, you see the flash of doubt cross Bronya's face, even if she doesn't believe this.
I know that. And Daria is a good mate sprit. And I'm a good Moirail, but I still love you.
And I think I love you too. There's no fanfare to it, no big sweeping declaration. Instead, there's just a handful of quiet words. Quiet words that feel like they've changed everything. Next to you see Linnea standing there looking absolutely stunned. Get the feeling she wasn't expecting this at all.
You aren't playing a joke on me? You're telling me the truth?
Bronya nods softly and smiles.
I guess I am.
Aww. In a single motion, Linnea crosses the room and wraps her arms tightly around Bronya, pulling her in close and kissing her. The two of them hold each other tight together, walking back and forth on the couch together. You think that maybe you shouldn't be here right now. This feels intensely private and personal. Yeah. So, you notice a distinctive blush on their cheeks, and the expression on their faces is sheepish.
Hey,
Bronya nods at Daria, but doesn't say anything right away.
we need to talk.
Screw it all. I actually do care about you, Braun. I love you even. Crap.
Maybe we ended up together because of some stupid reason, or because we were comfortable together, or some shit. But we're together now, and I'm glad we're together. And I know you feel the same.
Bronya's face is a picture of before, and she smiles nervously, looking at you quickly.
You may have a point.
Daria glances over at Linnea, and the two of them lock eyes, and Linnea drops her gaze, embarrassed.
I'm sorry about what I did with Lynn, because I know she's your Moirail, and I'm your mate sprit. I know it's the biggest fucking cliche to say it just kind of happened, but thing about being pitched for someone, it's not that different from being read for them.
She shuffles her feet nervously.
Guess we realized that at some point we'd crossed over that line, and I apologize for springing that on you. But I won't apologize for how I feel about her. You and I both know the whole thing is a goddamn scam.
Finally, once Daria finishes speaking, Brownie looks up at her and smiles.
I understand, actually.
This time, it's Brownie and Lanier's turn to look like they've been doing something important to say. Lanier closes the distance between her and Brownie and reaches out to take her in, threading their fingers together. Daria's face lights up with an immediate understanding.
Oh, shit, really? I thought this friend-shaped asshole was just shitting me.
You were right. Feelings aren't simple. And they can't be controlled by telling everyone not to feel them.
Daria leans back and starts laughing.
Oh, you mean that she finally confessed her incredibly obvious feelings to you?
You clap your hands together. They're all together, just like you always dreamed. A big happy jade pile.
What? Jade pile? What the fuck? Way to make it super fucking weird.
Oh crap, sorry. I'll thoughts again.
So, that's it then?
Guess so. Feel good to get all of that off of your chests?
Yes, actually.
Linear is smiling shyly, looking back and forth at others. You know what? You're gonna call this one a win. Which is good because they need to figure out what to do next for the caverns.
What's next?
Which,
What do you mean?
this is just, lots of random stuff. Don't know what they did, but they're one heck of an...
You have an alternative?
You know they're right, Bronny. You know the right thing to do.
I know. I wish there was an easier way out of all of this.
There isn't. I wanted the same thing, but they're right.
I know.
You see Bronny lean over and kiss Lunar on the forehead.
I know. I'm sorry. I just want all of us to be safe.
Bronny finally noticed you standing
It's
there.
you. Linera and I were just talking about your idea. I think that maybe I was being kind of a bitch, to borrow something someone once told me.
You see Lunar roach out and screws her hand
I suppose your plan is a very good one. We can be a place of hope in this world. I was worried about the Empire, but you're right. If they'll call us all for saving these grubs' lives, then what difference does it make? They can't kill us more for defying them.
See? It all worked out in the end.
Yeah, I'm good. Don't you say that blah blah blah, return to main menu. So yeah, we just got... Of course my game's being funky, but finally did get the two of them together, which is good. And I did get the secret achievement, OT3. Very nice. With that, I hope you guys have a good day, night, week, month of your lives. And may the stars forever guide your path, wherever they might lead you into the future. Bye-bye, everybody.